Bro, this is straight up one-to-one what Nazis said about Jewish people. Islamophobia is socially acceptable again right here in this clip.
People who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people.
What the fuck? Ain't no way he's talking about Palestinians, right? Most normal Asmon calling for the final solution to the Muslim question. Oh my lord, bro. Asmongold is an organization owner, and one of the people that owns the organization is literally Muslim. How the fuck are you this far removed from all aspects of real life existence? Like, have a conversation with Tips, man. Please, what the fuck?
It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing. And how much did they kill? As many as they can. They're not able to kill as many people as Israel because they don't have as many bombs and as many weapons. But if they did, they'd be doing the same thing.
Oh my God, I hate this argument so much, bro. Holy fuck. What is this? This is the full clip?
When I consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law.
Bro, oh my God.
So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing.
Come on, dude.
And how much did they kill? As many as they can. They're not able to kill as many people as Israel.
This argument literally is basically, you're laughing, but thousands more now believe this, and everyone just lets him do it. I'm laughing because his analysis right here is the liberal analysis. When you scratch the surface of like the average American over a certain age and why they are so blind to the obvious dynamic, the obvious inequalities, the obvious inhumanity of Israel's operations, they literally agree with this. They also think this. You only arrive at this conclusion after years and years and years of social conditioning that justify America's war on terror, and the unironic justifications for this war on terror required the dehumanization of Arabs and Muslims and every single person that lives in that part of the region. Because if you were to look at the situation and recognize that humans are being blown apart every single fucking day so that America can secure oil fields in Iraq, you would go crazy. So you have to either, on the one hand, omit key details, but also every single time you cover the atrocities, have to make it seem like they are worthy targets or collateral damage that is permissible. Why is it permissible? Because they're not really fucking human beings. Now, I thought we as a society had moved past that point. You know, Joe Biden pulled out of Afghanistan. I thought I was wrong. I mean, I thought that like maybe America was turning a page on Islamophobia. I was wrong. It was wish casting. Okay. Obviously, those underlying resentments never really go away. It takes up so much more time to actually rewrite and make people understand that, like, no, these people are human beings. Palestinians never hurt anyone. They've been colonized, occupied, persecuted their whole lives. Palestinians are an ethnic group of the Levant. They're not all Muslims or Arabs or Christians. The way they're conflated and generalized as a whole is racist as fuck. If this was done to any other minority, people would be up in arms, wailing like demons. So incredibly racist, peak insanity. Yes, that is the whole point. This is the same exact dynamic. When Trump says Haitians are eating cats and dogs, even though they are documented immigrants working in U.S. soil, he considers them to be illegal aliens who are eating cats and dogs. Where is that coming from? Do you think it's because Haitians are actually eating cats and dogs? No, it is a group of black immigrants that Donald Trump is using what he perceives as permissible white supremacist sentiment over. It comes from a place of anti-blackness, and the same exact situation exists here. There are no acceptable monolithic groups that are barbaric and Palestinians are somehow outside of that group. It is just a catch-all for all Muslims or people that are perceived as Muslim because they are from the Levant. They are from the region. They're from MENA.
Don't have as many bombs and as many weapons. But if they did, they'd be doing the same thing. That's it. Just takes enough. That's right. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture.
Asmongold, your co-owner of your organization, you are calling a person from an inferior culture. What are you doing? Log off the internet, stop reading fucking Reddit, and go talk to some real humans, please. I know you could talk to Wake, okay? Talk to Wake. Talk to Tips. Talk to a human, please. Holy shit.
That is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways. It is that simple.
Bro, this is straight up one-to-one what Nazis said about Jewish people, what the most right-wing approach to this conversation. This is insane. This is absolutely nutty. Oh my God. I can say that I see Americans as terrible people who have genocide baked in their system. How can someone not immediately recognize the problem with calling another culture inferior? Americans, man. Americans. This kind of attitude is like American exceptionalism through and through. American exceptionalism literally is the same thing. You're just removing American exceptionalist sentiment that is baked into American society, Western superiority. You're just taking the thing that shelters it and the thing that makes it like the norm. When you remove the outside patina, the skeleton remains. This is the skeleton. This is the bare bones of the argument that like America is the best country on earth. When you remove the outside stuff that makes it seemingly more appropriate for liberal consumption, okay, in an otherwise liberal society, this is what you arrive at. Like, I think he popped off on this, not thinking that there would be a lot of repercussions for this. I don't think he understands like how unimaginably fucked up this statement is. It's not even necessarily a country. You're no longer justifying like military action against the country. You are now basically saying like an entire culture is inferior to Western culture. The build up to the clip doesn't just make it worse.
And you know what else is disgusting? That people in the West enjoy more privileges and freedom than anywhere else in the world, romanticize their behavior or their lifestyle as anything other than barbaric.
This is what people think you say about Israel. I know. If you were to say this about Judaism, understandably and rightfully, you would get banned, and you should get banned. Like if I were to ever say, oh, Jewish culture is this way, I would literally be Adolf Hitler. Okay. It's fucking ridiculous. For the record, I don't believe that about Judaism, regardless of how much my fucking psychopathic rabid haters try to claim.
I know plenty of Muslims that respect gays. Well, I'm not talking about Muslims. I'm talking about people in Palestine. The truth is that that's what they do.
Dude, come on, dude. What? Palestinian culture as a whole? How the... Dude, this is your brain on Reddit. This is your brain on Reddit. If you don't interact with normal people, if you don't talk to people on a daily basis, and the only way that you're getting information from, your only outlet to the outside world is just simply Reddit, you arrive at this conclusion. It's like literally a vector of radicalization against Muslims, Islamophobia, and also specifically Palestinians. That's crazy. It's also additionally ironic when we talk about LGBTQ support, because this community fucking, like, his community hates gay people in representation and shit in like video games. So what the fuck? That's the other part of this that I don't understand. It's like, oh, Western culture is so superior. We love the gays, except I fucking throw a fit every time I see them in my video games. If I see a woman in a video game, I lose my fucking mind. But it's bad when Palestinians, I have imagined an alternative reality when Palestinians also do that. And I hate it when they do that. What the fuck? Yeah, his subreddit is really bad. I know. His subreddit is just Stormfront 2, and he said this so casually because he knows his chat will love it, and it's just a normal thought for them. Most of us left these Nazi greaseball WoW types in 2007, but they're still around. I mean, this is literally... It's ironic that we're looking at Asmongold because, like, I'm gonna cover this in a second with a liberal from a much larger platform, Bill Maher. This is so... this is sad and very frustrating. Palestinian culture, and all he brought up was Sharia law. We know which online forums he logs off on a stream. Oh my God.
That's what they do over there. So no, I'm not going to support a group of people that would be the ones doing the genociding if they had the power to do it. I'm sorry to say, I'm not.
The idea that if Palestinians had the capacity to fucking do Israel shit, they would do Israel shit back to Israel is a silly one, because if Palestinians had a nation state with sovereignty and nuclear weapons, then Israel wouldn't be able to do anything to the Palestinians, and therefore there is no fucking world in which they would do the exact same thing back to Israel. You do not know that. All of of the Palestinian resistance is within the framework of anti-colonial resistance. That's what it is, okay? There are methods that you do not agree with. There are methods that I don't agree with, okay? But ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, who is responsible for the larger harm? Who is radicalizing people into taking action into their own hands? It is obviously going to be the colonial state. It is going to be the larger state. It's going to be the playground bully with a bigger stick. That's it. And there is no world in which, if we were to simplify these terms, you would ever say this about other historical issues, right? Nat Turner rebellion was insanely violent. Ta-Nehisi Coates talked about this with Ezra Klein on his New York Times podcast, where he said, I go back to the Nat Turner rebellion. They took axes and killed white babies. They killed white children. Does that change the dynamic and the overt cruelty? Some historians might even say, and there is back and forth on this, that Virginia was on the verge of the abolition of slavery, and yet the Nat Turner rebellion was responsible for them not doing so. But ultimately, the morality of chattel slavery still remains. It is immoral, regardless of the reaction that it has invoked. That's it. The violent reaction to Israel's 76-year occupation and maintenance of apartheid does not justify the apartheid nor the consistent genocide of Palestinians that Israel is engaging in for the past 12 months. You're misunderstanding him. He's saying that people in Palestine have an innate hatred for Jews. I know. It is fucking ridiculous. It is a way to try and justify Israel's genocide. It is a silly and idiotic sentiment that you can only arrive at if you exclusively fucking hear shit from Reddit. The fear that once the colonial occupation perishes, or once like chattel slavery is abolished, that the victims of chattel slavery will turn around and do the exact same thing to the people that once enslaved them, it's never borne out in reality. It has never happened. The Irish did not go and occupy England. The Algerians did not go and occupy France. Once the apartheid was abolished in South Africa, they did not turn around and occupy, I don't know, England again, or the Dutch. That did not happen.